Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we will be looking at the race meeting from the Vaal on the 1st of April. I hope we're not April Fools today. We're having an 8-race card and we will discuss the betting and the form just now. But before that, I just want to draw your attention to this little notice that I've got. New month, some of your membership has expired. So I just want to remind everybody that the preview video and the form analysis for Turffontein being a major race day will only be available to subscribers on Saturday. So you can subscribe to Outside of Genie and if it's described on before the 3rd of April. Our normal price is 500 Rand per month. Then you can have it for 400 Rand a month, and you'll receive your selections till the end of April. Then I have a long-term package for 6 months. The normal value is 3,000. If you subscribe now, you only pay 1,200. In other words, you get your selections for 200 Rand. Surely a very large saving. Or if you just want the weekend package from Friday till Sunday, then that will cost you 150 Rand. So let's move back to the racing. As I said, we move racing from the Vaal, and then we kick off with a maiden plate for work riders. And first race off at 1 o'clock over 1,600 meters. So let us have a look at the betting here. The betting is as follows: number 9, Gold Storm 14 to 10, Nasply 9 to 2, Only Him 11 to 2, Star Effect 15 to 2, Sitting Bull 10 to 1, Global Prayer 12 to 1, Royal Wedding 14 to 1, 25 to 1, and longer the rest. So here my first selection in this race is the combination of Terry and Jingwatsa, and that is number 9, Gold Storm. Now, number 9, Gold Storm, has only had one run and really ran on nicely last time out, 23.4, kept on for 4th over 1160. And I'm sure that the 1,600 meters will definitely suit this horse down to the ground. It's a straight Vaal course, so the draw isn't a problem. And I think this experienced jockey who's ridden, I can see here for this season, 28 rides, 4 wins, 6 seconds, and 4 fourths. I see he's never ridden for third. So already he's won 4 races this season for Sean Terry, because he mainly rides with Sean Terry. And I'm sure that Gold Storm will be a horse, a 4-year-old, only making its debut here in February. So certainly the horse got the chance to mature. So then my outsider selections is numbers 3 and 10. So let's have a look at number 10 here, Mamba in Seattle, by Captain Elmere. This also debuted nicely over the 1,600 behind Irish Willow. Ran at 25.5, which is not that, it is not good, it's not bad, but got bumped at the start, and maybe for that would have maybe finished closer to the winner, although I doubted if the horse would have beaten the winner. But certainly a definite inclusion in all of your quartet and trifectas. Then we have a look at number 3, Sitting Bull, which doesn't form in the show in the form here. Sitting Bull in his last race ran a 3rd, and in this field, which is not too strong, can certainly be in the vanguard when the photos are taken. Number 3, Sitting Bull. And then you would also want to include number 1, Nasply. Number 1, Nasply is ridden by Matsuela, which is also a very experienced jockey, as mentioned before, has been to the academy, but never never finished the academy, but is certainly a very competent jockey. This horse has been running places, and I think would be the biggest danger to our choice number 9, which is Gold Storm. But I really think Gold Storm today will run a huge race. Nasply always looks like he gets 1 or 2 horses to beat him. Then we move on to race number 2. Race number 2 is a maiden plate over 1,200 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. The betting as follows. Year number 1, Global 9 to 10, Global Vision 5 to 2, Ford Commander 4 to 1, Watch Your Mouth 6 to 1, 50 to 1, and Better the Rest Scratch. Number 6, Silly Fella. Yeah, in this race, I really think that number one, Galoba, will be too strong. This horse has been gelded after his last race, coming off a long race. But I do feel that, Paul Peter is a professional, and I'm sure he will have the horse in peak condition. Maybe not 100% fit, but unfortunately, the quality of this field, and with no disrespect to the trainers and the owners, is not at the very high standard. So he doesn't even, might get away with not being 100% fit. But as I said, I just want to say, I don't say the horse is not fit, but yeah, normally a horse that comes from the shoot, needed last time, so coming off a long rest. Then for my outsider selection, I've only got one outsider. This number 3, Watch Your Mouth, from the Brett Weber stable. I see this horse was with St. John Gray before, and now running for Brett Weber. And this horse has run a nice place behind Extravert, and then 8 lengths behind Royal Wolf, who won very easily. So, but I think maybe for places, number 3, Watch Your Mouth, and then obviously include also number 7 in your trifectas and exactas, which is Global Vision. Global Vision is the first 2-year-old that I see is running in open company, and he did run 3.5 race behind Kotima over the 1,200 meters, so certainly can be involved in the finish. But he's only getting 3 kilograms from the 4-year-olds, and if you have a look here, currently a 2-year-old against a 3-year-old is 8.5 kilograms worse off, where he only gets 3 kilograms. So he's actually 5.5 kilograms under sufferance according to the weight for age scale, but certainly can definitely trouble the winner, I would think. Very nicely bred. I'm sure Rafif is going to throw a few winners in his time. Then we move on to race number 3, which is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,200 meters. And here the betting is as follows. Number 1, Magic Choice, 11 to 10. 5 to 2, Miss Costa Rica. 9 to 2, Meet the Captain, Rose Willow, 14 to 1. Apple Drop, 14 to 1. 22 to 1, Saruk. And Zulu Warcry, 35 to 1. And Better the Rest. Scratches number 3 and 12. Now, it does seem that Sean Terry can have a very good race, a race day. He's got a number of horses with chances, so definitely follow all Terry horses. So here we have number 1, a Willow Magic, another stallion that I'm sure is going to prove his worth over time. There's another son of Willow Magic, Willow Express, which I followed, and that horse has now won 2 in a row. So certainly it looks like Willow Magic might be a stallion to keep an eye out. This horse has had a few runs over 1,000 meters, 1 run over the 2,000, but has been improving in his last 2 runs. Just got beaten by Flash Rock. I know that day I had a few random Magic Choice, and I thought he was finishing like a steam train. You can see both his last 2 runs, fastest 400 to finish. As a matter of fact, over his last 4 runs that he had, he finished fastest 400 in 3 out of 4. That is very good, and I think Magic Choice definitely will be a hard horse to beat in this race today. Then for outsider selections, I went with number 6 and 8, Rose Willow, also Brett Weber stable. This horse has run a few places, but I do feel that you can include this for your trifecta and quartet selections. I can't see him troubling number 1. And then also number 8, Some Nook. It's another Terry inmate. This horse, I thought with the breeding captain of L by National Assembly May, this horse will, show nice form. But the horse is battling a bit. But, since, as I said, it's a weakish field, Solomon's on board, -1.5. This field, is also not a strong field. Can probably be considered for your back end of quartets and maybe trifectas. If you run a place, it's currently, number 8 is currently at 22 to 1. Definitely will make increase the payout of the bet. Number 12, I see is scratched. So another horse I just want to quickly touch on, for your bigger perms, do include Zulu Warcry. He ran an improved race, and I'm thinking this is a kind of horse that can also win it if we do come in the quartet and trifecta selection. will certainly enhance the payout. Number 5, Apple Drop, has run a very great big race behind Emmeline, but after that didn't run as well as would expected. But as again in this field can probably land up running a place. So let's move on to race number 4, which is the Progress Plate over 2,000 meters. Sorry, I just want to get that correct. And here the betting is as follows. Another Terry Lyle Hewitson combination, 13 to 20, Cornish Pomodoro, Dr. Doolittle, 13 to 10, Fred, 15 to 2, 40 to 1, and better the rest. I really think that there's always Pomodoro can be a banker today. Yeah, he's running here in the Class C, average merit rate at 77. Now, if you have a look here, you'll see that Cornish Pomodoro has won against far better opposition. Running there in a 94, 102, 110, 3 lengths behind Udo Magic, 92 Ballet Shoes, Whirly Whirly, Jet Start, Savannah Storm. Certainly horses that you won't find in this class. And I think number 1, Cornish Pomodoro, hard to beat. But then we also have number 1, Dr. Doolittle, a nice 3-year-old, but on the weights, he's going to battle to beat Cornish Pomodoro, because as a 3-year-old, he's got, what you need to do is you take the 3.5, you multiply it with 2. That's give you 7. So then you need to take off 7 from 105. So this horse is actually running on a 98 carrying 61, where he's running against 104 carrying 58. Definitely on weights. If he can beat Cornish Pomodoro, certainly he will be a horse of lots of ability. Number 1, Dr. Doolittle. Then I also have like number 3, Fred, is a horse that I've been following. The day that he won on the Vaal, the 16th of February, I did give it to my members. At that stage, he was like 25 to 1 in the betting or something, or 20 to 1. And he won at race state. He was 16 to 1 available. But then Sin has also run against some strong opposition here, ran at 88 behind the Luvia Storm Commander. But I can't see him beating the number 1, the number 2, or Cornish Pomodoro. But will be certainly there in placings. And then for outsider selections in this race, maybe include this horse in your quartet and trifectas. What you see. This horse is only carrying 49, and I remember he went on Turpentine, nearly start to finish over the 2,000 meters. Hasn't done much, but I can assure you, I think of this jockey over 49, when the gates open, he's gonna be on his bicycle and tell the other jocks, catch me if you can. So the type of horse that might hold on for 3rd or 4th, and currently in the betting at 80 to 1. So certainly will improve the quartet and trifecta payout with a rand or 2 should he manage to place. Then we move on to race number 5, which is the merit at 80 handicap over 1,600 meters. And I would think certainly the most open race on the card, a betting 5 to 1. 5 to 1 Star Flash, 30 to 2 Stormy Winter, River Jordan 7 to 1, Imperial Duke 7 to 1, Cantoni Legacy 8 to 1, Atomic Blonde 9 to 1, El Manzi 11 to 1, Whipping Boy 12 to 1, Putin's Promise 12 to 1, Governor's Glory 14 to 1, Earl 14 to 1, 16 to 1, Zarabat Forever Light 35 to 1, scratch numbers 5 and 13. So here in race number 5, my first selection is the number 3 horse River Jordan. Again, Terry and Lyle Hewitson. I like the look of this horse here in race 5. We're running on a C75. This horse has run in this class. He won a C76 a while ago on the 1,400 meters. But on this course and distance, 3 runs, 1 win and a 2nd. And I think that number 3, River Jordan, might be the business in this race. You'll see also here, when he won on that Turpentine course, he was running on fastest 400, 24.5. Here he's done a 22.9 in a higher division. So certainly I think River Jordan can be a serious contender in this field. And then for outsider, I'm going for number 4, Whipping Boy. Whipping Boy is also a horse that I followed, and then eventually won a race in October at the Vaal. On that day was 6-1, but for me was certainly a big runner. And then hasn't done much after that, but then came to life last time out against Star Flash, running on stoutly from behind at the 24.2, second fastest to 400 meters. And I think if we can repeat that effort today, certainly Whipping Boy will be in the firing line. Then my other outsider selection is number 1, which is Stormy Winter. Stormy Winter won 3 races at the Vaal a while ago in November, December. And then last time out, ran in a little bit, last 3 runs were both in higher divisions, carrying 62, but getting the -4. So certainly that brings him in the picture and he can be involved in the finish. And then Star Flash is also a 7-year-old who's now still running well. Last time out, won over the 1500 meters, coming from behind. So I don't think the 1600 will be a problem. So certainly number 2, Star Flash, also inclusion in all of your bet. Then on the number 7 count, Finding Legacy, include in your better bets, because one is always unsure, about this horse's ability and how he's going to run in after the maiden, but definitely include as well. Then there's lots of horses. Grosvenor's Glory won so well, and then disappointed his last, the second last run, and last time out no strong finish. But maybe bringing him back to the 1600 meters course and distance might do the trick. Also, a horse that you can include. This horse is nicely bred. I really like the breeding. I remember Sweetie Pie used to be ridden by GENIE. So I think in this race, what I've done in my pick 6, I've included a field, because this is certainly a race. But sometimes what I found is you include a field and then the favorite one, and then such a disappointment, because you want a big, outsider to win so that you can get a bigger payment. But definitely in this race, I think number 11, El Romanzi, have a chance. Also been running well for St. John Gray. Putin Promise is also a horse that hasn't won for 400 days, but he's run second 7 times in his life out of 19. So he surely likes the number 2 box. But one of these days, he's going to change from the number 2 box to the number 1 box. And that could even be today, Putin's Promise. So as you can see, definitely horses with, here you have this horse as well, last one that I want to mention, also running on a 50.5, has been improving lately, Zabarat. So can also maybe spring a surprise. So let's move on to the next race, which is race number 6. And that's the Fraser Mares 100 handicap over the 1400 meters. And surely this is another very interesting race for me, where we have number 2, Due Diligence at 3-1, Castle Borough at 4-1, Milk Queen 9-2, All of Me 9-2, Rouge Chalet 13-2, Kairos Camp 9-1, Virginia 12-1, and Sheer Talent 12-1, scratch number 7. Now, in this race, I struggled to make up my mind, because I remember the other day when David Nevenation had that winner, he said that number 1, Milk Queen, ignored her last run. And definitely, he said he was expecting her to run. That day was at 1200 meters, but unfortunately, there was the problem at the start, and he jumped the start and he got withdrawn. Now they're putting him back over a 1400 meters. And we are running here in A Division 95. But the thing that caught me was the weight, because my choice was between numbers 1 and 2, but certainly the weight of 3.5 kilogram swayed it in the 3-year-old's favor. But I want to stress that, but for the weight, number 1 would have been my first selection. So I am now in the camp of number 2, purely on the weight. But number 2, if you have a look at this horse's form, she ran behind Medical Flight. Medical Flight has won, I think, 2 races since. Springs of Caramel won 3 races. War of Athena, riding on Saturday for the Triple Crown, winning the Triple Crown. Karaluma was at that stage a horse that, with ability, but since then has got a bit off form. Here we got War of Athena again. Then she beat G for Go, ran third behind G for Go, and G for Go came, I think was over the weekend, and won again. Then went to Cape Town, ran against one of the best fillies in the Cape, 5.5 lengths behind Captain Ransom. You put Captain Ransom in this field, I think she'll win by at least 10 lengths. So certainly number 2, Due Diligence. My only concern again, and I'm not knocking the person, but I'm just saying that the Michael de Kock stable is not firing consistently. Yes, he gets winners, but horses that you would expect to win gets beaten. And that is also one of my concerns, because I do favor his horses in the last 3 legs of the pick 6. I was actually thinking of taking all to come with all of them in the last, Due Diligence plus in the 7th and the 8th race. Yeah, definitely. I would think number 2, Due Diligence, in with a huge chance. Then in the same race, I went for the outsider number 3, which is Rougeleur, 6-1. Always runs his heart out. Always a trier. Has won 10 races. I was placed 4th again over the weekend. Surely a horse that you need to put in all your play. Have a lot of ability. Then I'm not sure about Kaila's Camp. Ran over the weekend. Didn't run well. Traveling to Durban and back, and then running again on the first day. A few days later, might take a bit out of the horse. A horse that I haven't put in my play and everything, but it does concerns me. The fact is that this horse is carrying -4, 15.5 Virginia. Virginia is already a 4-time winner, and in her time has beaten some useful runners. And that's the type of thing that these jockeys that claimers come and win with. But, this horse has run also against the likes of Bistler, Chimchimley Run, Wiley Wench, all of that. But that last time out, didn't run a good race behind, pin up. Then we have another 3-year-old Castle Darrow, has won his first 2 races, has been running also behind G for Go, but was in that race by G for Go, was beaten by about 4 lengths by my first selection. And then ran behind Kayla's Dream, Magic Flight, and then again behind Water of Athena, Ideal Angel. But certainly a horse that can be involved when the photos are taken. Then also number 8, All of Me. This horse only shows his sprints, but I saw here in course and distance 2 runs, 1 win and a 4th. So certainly number 8, All of Me, can surprise. Maybe a horse that if you're looking for an outsider, do include. Unfortunately, I don't have it in my selections due to the cost of the pick 6. Sheer Challenge has tried longer distances, but hasn't really been successful. I think this horse is much better on shorter distances. Then we move on to the race number 7, also 1400 meters, fillies and mares, and 85 handicap. Let's have a look here at the betting. Again, the betting here: Florentine 14-10, Rock You 11-2, Bebop 6-1, Me Time 9-1, Patrons STS 10-1, Snow Symphony 14, Empress Josephine 16, Little Spain 18, and Longer the Rest. Also here the scratching number 12, Golden Spiral. So here in race number 7, my first choice is number 3, Florentine. Now this race is a C Division 79. Florentine ran in a graduation plate where the average merit was 90 behind Castellero. Really a strong field. But before that, she beat Say When. Say When came out after that, won by 9 lengths, and also won another race. So certainly based on that form, I think number 3, Florentine, should be hard to beat. But again, as I just mentioned, that I am concerned about the stable. But maybe the stable turns around, and also they've got this big runners on Saturday. So hopefully the stable is in form, because I would think Florentine today is a huge runner based on a line of form with Say When. Then my outsider selections here is number 4, which is Rock You. Rock You currently 11-2, and Bebop number 6-1. Also horses with ability, has been running well. Rock You certainly can trouble the favorite, as number 6, Bebop. Was caught late last time out in a 79. Before that, ran behind Dr. Doolittle, but was 11 lengths behind. But is a horse that's always there and there. Sean Terry, Lyle Hewitson, definitely inclusion into your pick 6s. But there are other horses with chances in this race. Number 5, Little Rain, is down in the betting, a type of horse that you want to maybe include in the back end of your quartets. Patron's Tears, I did like it last time out behind Thumbs Up. Will maybe appreciate the 1400 meters a course and distance, one run, one winner. So certainly also in with a chance. So maybe if you want to go wide in this leg in the pick 6, definitely number 7, the horse to include. Then we have number 8, Me Time. Also, horse was favored last time out behind Pin Up, but has also run a few places, definitely in with a chance. I'm seeing Warren Kennedy is taking a few rides for Cornice Peace lately, and yeah, maybe they can form a good partnership. Phoenix, horse that won her first race, and I thought this horse is really going to be become a good horse because it was a strongish field that day. But has run here and some good races here and there, but did disappoint last time out over 2,000. Now back over the shorter, might also be a horse that can, contest the finish. Here's number 10, Snow Symphony from David Nevenhagen's stable. Did win first time out, has had a short race, but is getting a -4, only carrying 51. It's always difficult to judge a horse who won his first race because you're not sure about the quality of the field that you won against, because as it points out here, 13 runners, no winners. So, yeah, was it that just because he was much better or they were not any good? And here we have number 11, Dead Lady. This horse likes to win when the prizes are long, but there's also can be a danger. Has been running behind Rocky, Retail Therapy, and Say Wade. But yeah, can go start to finish number 11, Decant Lady. And if it does, it will not be with my money. Then we get here to race number 8, Classified Stakes, and Class D, average minute at 67. And here the betting is as follows. Number 2, Golden Spoon 4-1, was 5-1, now 4-1. Under 12, 4-1, 15-2, Mantiboda, Mantobia, Tiki Taki 8-1, Big City Gold 10-1, Soul of Wit 8-1, 12-1, Tartan Dancer 14-1, and better the rest. Guys, now this classified stakes is a very difficult, but let me give you a hint here. I've been checking now this best weighted column that the computer form does for us, so you don't have to do the work. And I can assure you the history shows that I would think 8 out of 10 times the winner of this race comes out of this column, the best weighted column. Handicapping is is a science, to understand it. And yeah, they've done the handicapping for you. So I've been focusing around this 5 horses, and I do think that number 2, Golden Spoon, do have a very good chance. Why so mine for Michael de Kock? Why Shang won on this horse, beating Bella of Belize. Last time out 5 lengths behind Oyster King. Now he's back today on this horse over the 1500 meter, which is just 100 meters further. But I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. I say yes, stubborn kept on, and I'm looking for Golden Spoon to run a huge race today in this field. And for outsider selections, St. Gray has got a number of horses, and some of them are in the best weighted. And the one horse that I do like, number 9, Tartan Dancer, I did like it last time out. The last 2 runs, both the last 2 runs behind Feldflower. I'm not sure what happened. Coming back to a shorter distance, which I would think will suit the horse, definitely in with a chance. And then here we have number 16, which is Bitter Soul of Wit. Also a horse that has won a few races for Romeo Francis, still have to win for St. Gray. But I would think the horse is improving. Last time out, ran behind Under 12. Now today they've got a nice weight turnaround, and I think that will bring number 16, Soul of Wit, closer to beating Under 12. So certainly an inclusion in all of your bets. And then also we are going to look at number 3, which is Under 12, the favorite, now carrying 58. Last time I was carrying a 55.5. So there are a few horses here or there that's got to turn it out in weights. bringing him closer to Undetroit. So that brings us to the end of our preview for today. I hope I could point you in the right direction for a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.